Am I the a-hole for telling my sister's fiance that my sister hid my mother's cheating, which resulted in him calling the engagement off? I am 22M and my only sister is 25F. My parents got divorced 3 years ago. My mom had an affair with one of her co-worker for a year. I don't know all the details, and they both asked me to keep the secret in the family, and nobody else needs to know for my and my sister's sake. They decided to have a clean divorce, and both kept what they owned. I was angry at my mom for what she did. I felt ashamed that my mom did something like this, but she didn't feel shame for doing something like this. I stopped talking to her, no matter how much she tried to talk to me. My father told me I must not say anything, and it stays between us four. My sister knew about it, but covered up for her mom. We back then had a huge fight, and we stopped talking to each other. But my father was in touch with her. He would visit her and she would visit us. I started living with my father after they separated. Whenever she would visit us, we both would ignore each other, and she would only spend time with my father. My mom tried to contact me and tried to visit me. She still does. Back then, she visited my father's place and barged in and hugged me and said, "I am cruel for cutting her off no matter what. I am her son and she's my mom." But I still ignored her. And even now she sends me text apologizing and asking me to talk to her and asking me how I am doing, and we should meet, etc., but I ignore her even when we meet. But 5 days ago my sister came and asked me and my father to visit her place, and we shouldn't miss a little family get-together. We went, and my sister and her boyfriend, I didn't know she had one, in front of his family, and ours announced they are getting engaged. Everything went smoothly. Later, my sister pulled me aside and said I am only invited for sake of her marriage and appearance, and I must visit her. Her fiancé always asked her a lot why we both don't talk to each other, but she covered it up. And I should put our emotions aside for a day and visit her wedding and act normal. I was so angry at her for saying this all but to not cause a scene. I ignored her and went back inside. I was so furious at what she said, and I decided to search him up on Instagram and told him the truth, explaining everything, and asked him it would be a huge favor for me if he didn't tell anyone else. He replied me and said he won't, and he appreciates what I told him. Now my sister called me and said I ruined her life. Her fiancé called off the engagement and said he doesn't want to marry someone who covers up for a cheater. She said I shouldn't have told him when we all four decided to keep it a secret. She called me names, they were vile, and she hung up. My mom sent me a message saying I shouldn't have ruined my sister's life and I'm being cruel to my sister and my mom, but I ignored that one as well. I asked my father if he is angry at me. My father said he is not. He personally wouldn't have done what I did, and still doing to my mom and sister, but I am an adult, and I should decide what I should do for me and my family. So am I the a-hole for exposing my sister to her fiancé, and also ignoring my mom? I personally am so angry at them both, even after all these years. Maybe I was petty, but I think the dude deserved to know. So, am I the a-hole? Subscribe for more interesting stories.